You probably saw ChatGPT's tasks and thought, this tool is useless, right? Well, wrong. This feature is actually one of the biggest unlocks for solopreneurs and creators who are looking to stop wasting time. And in this video, I want to show you how I'm personally using it to generate client reports automatically and how you can start using it to buy back your time today. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Matt Paiva. I build AI solutions for businesses, especially on the sales and marketing side of things. And this is how you actually are supposed to use ChatGPT's tasks. Well, let's start the video off by defining ChatGPT tasks. Well, this feature allows users to schedule a prompt to run in the background at any given time of day. So you're essentially scheduling a task for ChatGPT to run. And there are a few different ways that you can approach it. I've been approaching it as a reminders and drafting tool, but I genuinely think that there's other ways that we could use it, especially when it comes to creating accountability in a small business. But before we go into the use cases, why don't we take a look at how they actually work in ChatGPT? As you guys can see, we have the ChatGPT interface open over here, and you can create tasks by either having a regular chat with ChatGPT over here, or by going on the top right hand corner and clicking on tasks over here. But before we go over the tasks over here, why don't we create a task for ourselves that will run every day? One example that OpenAI has used in the past to describe this tool was a news digest that you can create with ChatGPT, which also uses the search functionality in ChatGPT. So here we could ask something like this. Okay, so to create our tasks, make sure that you are using either the O3 model or the O4 mini model, as I'm pretty sure that this will not work if you're using the 4.0 model. And then here we're going to describe the task that we want to create. Here I wrote, create a task that runs at the end of every weekday, summarizing the stock markets in the USA. And we're going to run this. Now here we'll see that the O3 model is thinking and setting up the automation in the background for ourselves. And it's thinking through what time it should run this automation. And it's going to select 4 p.m. Eastern time. It thought for 28 seconds, and let's see what it comes up with. There we go. We have summarized USA stock markets that is going to happen 22:05 p.m. my time, because it knows that I am in Madrid. Now here, it's also asking me to allow desktop notifications, and I'm pretty sure I already have these turned on in my app, but I'm doing this in the browser instead of in the ChatGPT app this time. So here I'm going to click allow, and I'm going to allow it in my browser. So as soon as this time rolls around, it will actually give me that update at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'll actually ask it to run at 4:35 p.m. so I can show you guys a demo over here. So I'm just asking, can you change the schedule to 4:35 p.m. Eastern time. So here I'm going to prompt it to change the time with natural language instead of going through the task outline here, because this is a very simple way of that anybody can use to just set these things up as well. So we can see that it created this new task, or it adapted that task to do that at 4:35 Eastern time. And just as a quick note, I'll go over to the task interface and we'll see that it actually created and edited that task that we had, and it will run in about 2 minutes for us. And there we go. We have a notification coming in over here, and I also just got an email about this as well. As you guys can see over here on my phone, I'll just share my phone screen. Today's stock market highlights. Actually, if I show on my phone, I don't think the camera will focus. So maybe I'll just open up my email over here. And we can see that I got this email over here from OpenAI saying task updates, today's stock market highlights. And I can just go and click on view message, and I will see what happened in that stock market highlight. It says that the S&P 500 gained 0.3%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up by 0.1%. And the NASDAQ composite, I think that's how you say it, rose 0.5%. As you guys can tell, I don't really follow much of the stock market in the US at all. Now, maybe you're not happy with this type of output. Maybe you want something more detailed. You can go and ask ChatGPT to just say, for the future, can you give me a more detailed breakdown? And once we run that prompt, we will see that our O3 model thought for about 15 seconds. And I love that we can see what it was thinking about as well, and how it also updated our prompt. So we'll see that our custom schedule here is set up for 10:35 p.m. This is the equivalent of 4:35 p.m. Eastern time, and that it also added some more information here in our instructions. For example, the closing level, the point percentage, and the percentage change of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, etc. of these ones as well, and it just included some more information to look for in over here, which is really cool. Now, there are many different ways that we can use this type of feature, and the way I truly believe that would be really helpful to use this type of feature is to create accountability, to use ChatGPT as an accountability buddy. This example that I showed you guys is cool, and you guys can get your AI news digest or your stock market updates through ChatGPT. You can also sign up for a newsletter. That would work the same way. Now, the way I've been using it personally is to automatically create client updates every Friday afternoon. So what happens at Friday at 4 p.m. is that I get an email from ChatGPT and a notification from the app on my phone or the app on desktop, because I have these allowed. And essentially it just says that like we're ready to create your weekly update. Now, the weekly update looks something like this. It's just a simple Slack message that I send to a specific client, telling them what was completed throughout the week, what I've been working on, and what's the expected delivery date for that, and what's next up on that. Now, I use this because I can write these updates in 5 minutes if I'm just using ChatGPT. As soon as I get the notification, I actually start one of these voice chats down here, and I start telling ChatGPT everything that I did that week so it can create the message for me. And then from there on out, I just edit 1 or 2 words and I go ahead and send that message within 5 minutes. Now, I know that there's other ways of setting up these types of reminders just by simply like using a reminder on your phone or maybe a calendar reminder to send these updates. But I like using ChatGPT because I know that as soon as I get that notification, I can just open ChatGPT and it will open exactly in this chat over here. And I can't scroll up because I have all of the things that I've been doing for this client, and I am protecting their privacy, protecting everything that I've done for them. But long story short, this chat has everything that I've done for that specific client for the past like 6-7 weeks, and it knows what I said was going to be next up the week before. So it automatically includes those in the done section or in the in progress section as well for the following week. Also, a really cool thing is that as soon as you get that notification, that chat gets bumped up over here on your chat history. So it will be the first thing that you see on your ChatGPT once you open it. Now, just by using this very simple system, you can now create that extra layer of accountability in your workflow to make sure that you're actually doing the things that you set yourself out to do. So I was even thinking about a different type of use case where you could set up a reminder in the morning, for example, to plan out your day. And then you just tell ChatGPT, hey, these are the 3 things I want to get done throughout the day. And then at the very end of the day, you ask ChatGPT to follow up with you to see if you got those things done. And if you didn't, maybe you can explain why, and you can come up with a different plan of action to do those things in the next upcoming days. All in all, I feel like this is a very easy way to set up a smart system that keeps you accountable throughout the day, and also a really good way of making sure that you keep your team accountable, because if everybody has a GPT subscription that's a plus subscription or even a team subscription, you can start setting these tasks up and making sure that everybody who's getting trained or everybody who's in a specific department is getting these types of reminders and doing their job the way it's supposed to be done. Now, with all of that being said, I encourage you guys to think about the things that you want to do habitually and how you can use this tool as an accountability partner to actually get those things done. There's definitely a lot of different ways to use ChatGPT, and I personally believe that there is a right way of using ChatGPT. So this is one of the things that you can be doing right to increase your productivity in the workspace using ChatGPT. Another way that you can also use is by using email in your ChatGPT. Did you know that you can actually send emails from ChatGPT? Well, I found out about that a couple of weeks ago, and I actually made a video about it. So if you're curious, I'll leave that video popping up right over there so you can go watch that one next. And if you're curious about more AI solutions for businesses, just go over in the channel or shoot me an email, which is going to be available down below, and we can chat about how we can implement AI for your business in the future. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.